What place it came from.
Give my man this thing. Sig Sauer. That ain't no Larkin, dog.
I'm used to revolvers, man. 38 don't jam.
Don't hold 15 neither.
Game done changed.
Game the same. Just got more feds.
Started some developing stories this morning. One man is dead following a shooting early this morning. We first brought you this as breaking news if you were watching us in the 7 o'clock hour. Phoenix police officers say that officers found the man shot near 24th Street and Van Buren. This is about 1 this morning. He later died at the hospital. No word yet on what led up to the shooting, but we have reached out to Phoenix police officers to get more information. Just as soon as we hear back from officials, we'll let you know.
Time now is now.
We begin with breaking news. A homicide investigation underway in Westmont, where a woman has been shot and killed. It happened last night, shortly before 10 p.m. in the 1200 block of West 87th Street. The LA County Sheriff says when they got on scene, they found the woman dead with a gunshot wound. No word yet on what led to the shooting, and no details have been released about a suspect. It is the second day in a row that a person was shot in that very same block in Westmont. A man was shot and killed there on Sunday. No word if both shootings might be related.
Start with this. Baton Rouge Police Department saying 3 additional suspects are facing charges related to the shooting on Swan Avenue that left 8-year-old Dylan Daniels dead and 2 of his siblings injured. 23-year-old Yancey Gerald Jr. was arrested yesterday and is being charged with first-degree murder, 5 counts of attempted first-degree murder, and illegal use of a weapon after Kendrick Proffitt's arrest earlier made this week. That means now 2 of the 4 suspects are in custody. Investigators saying the 2 other suspects, Tremel Harris as well as Roger Parker, they're wanted for the same charges. BRPD Police Chief TJ Morse saying all 4 suspects have ties to a violent street group.
I will say that all 4 of these suspects have ties to one of our violent street groups, and that it appears that they were trying to target another member of a violent street group.
If you have any information that could be helpful, useful to police officers in finding these 2 suspects, they want you to give Crime Stoppers a call. That number 344-STOP.
News to report now. The NOPD reports 2 people killed, 3 more injured, and this is across 4 separate shootings last night.
Maddie Kurth shares what we know so far in this spike of overnight violence.
Hey, Kelsey and Lucy. Yes, all 4 of those shootings are in the very early stages of their investigation, so details from police are pretty limited at this time, but here's what we know so far. The most recent of the shootings happened just before 2 a.m. in the 2300 block of Feliciana. There, police say they found a male shot and EMS took him to the hospital. We do not yet know if that male victim is an adult or a juvenile. Then 40 minutes prior, another shooting, this time in New Orleans East. Police were called to the 4700 block of Lane Avenue in the Plum Orchard neighborhood, where they reported a man and a woman shot in a home. They were both pronounced dead on the scene. Now, we first brought you this video live this morning while investigators worked that scene for about 3 hours. We are still waiting on autopsy results to learn more about the identities of those victims. Then just before 9 p.m., a shooting in the 1900 block of AP Turo Avenue sent 1 man to the hospital. 20 minutes before that, the first shooting of the night at Penniston and Magnolia Streets, where 1 male was shot and taken to the hospital for treatment. Again, we do not know whether that victim was an adult or a juvenile either. So police have not yet released any information on potential suspects or potential motives. Again, detectives are really just getting these cases and working through them. So if you have any information that can help the case or help those police detectives, call the NOPD or Crime Stoppers. That number is 504-822-1111. Again, 504-822-1111. That's the latest here. Reporting live from NOPD headquarters, Maddie Kurth, Fox 8 Local First.
All right.
I looked at my legs and it was huge.
For Antonisha Cheristel, it's a painful memory and start to the year. The Howard University freshman describes the moment she realized she was shot in both her legs New Year's Day.
As I was starting to run, getting my momentum, it was like a pain I don't even know how to really explain. It was burning, it was cold, it was stabbing, then it felt like it was like pulsating.
Cheristel was one of several people caught in the crossfire waiting to get inside the Amazura nightclub New Year's Day, the first of the year turned chaotic.
I'm over here thinking that it's fireworks, but it wasn't until I got hit and I saw people running. I was like, oh, this is real.
This video overhead caught the frantic moments as many ran for cover.
I ran and I got behind the first car, and there was a girl laying there, and she was like, oh my God, they got you too, we got shot.
She called me on FaceTime, and she's like, don't be mad at me. You know, she's like, don't be mad at me. I'm at a party, a really bad thing happened at the party, and I got shot. And she's telling me that there's no one really there helping, and that they didn't let them in the club. You know, I got concerned. I said, you know what, get off the phone with me, share your location, but call 911.
It was the call her mother was least expecting. A lengthy recovery process now underway. Her daughter unable to walk, rods left in her legs, but for her, she still finds hope.
It could have been really worse. So I'm really grateful. This could have went the other way.
By mom's side, the fierce gun violence prevention advocate, Councilmember Farrah Lewis, a relative to the family who says the city's decades-long bleeding issue must come to an end.
We have to get the guns off the street, whether if it's legislation, whether if it's fiduciary responsibilities. We need to take a more proactive action. That's federal, state, and city. That's the only way to get the guns off the street. But the longer we take, the more lives we will lose.
For this 18-year-old, she looks forward to just getting back to school.
I'll use this to help me. This will not stop me. So I'm feeling empowered. I'm feeling ready to go.
And all 10 victims are expected to be okay as an active search is underway to find the gunman still at large. Anyone with information is urged to call police.